I mean, wicked can just be more than just a word, a descriptor word. Like it can be an
An
actual
adjective.
noun.
Barding. Ah.
These
I don't know
things.
any of these things besides
How
Bree's
do you,
hockey
how do you?
journey.
We got our first hater the other day.
Shout out to my dad.
That made me mad. Now I'm triggered.
Oh, and god damn it. What a pro wants. What a pro wants. Folks, welcome to episode 67 of the Bread Loves Hockey Podcast. It is late here on the East Coast. I'm just coming back from watching some in-person hockey. Went to the Adirondack Thunder game here versus Norfolk, the Admirals, and it was a good one. Did go into overtime, which I was like, I really got to get, recording tonight. So that was not a bummer because it was still fun, and they did end up winning the game 4-3. But I was like, could have just taken care of it in regulation and saved me a little bit of time. But it was still a fun game. There was a couple different lead changes. Norfolk was up 1-0, and then the Thunder tied it. Then the Admirals were up 2-1. Thunder tied it on a shorthanded goal towards the end of the second period, and I was like, okay. Then they got the lead in the third period. Was that on a power play goal? I can't remember. And then Norfolk tied it up a little bit later. A couple good chances before the end of the period, and then kind of a greasier goal to finish it, but it was still pretty good. So it was a pretty fun, entertaining game. A lot of physicality, a lot of fights. I took some videos of just the physicality and some other fun stuff. Maybe we'll throw it in here, maybe not.
Make a vlog.
Yeah, I took enough photos and videos, or I think we could probably do something like that. All right, here's what Bree and I were wearing. Bree's got her Vegas Winter Classic hat on that she borrowed from me. I've got my Winnipeg Jets Reverse Retro 2.0 hat and my Jets Heritage Classic jersey. We've got the River Rats being represented in the background, and you can kind of see behind me there's a woman that's wearing a Utah Hockey Club sweater with just a generic white NHL Shield logo, but I thought that was kind of cool. I haven't really seen any of their stuff out in the wild yet. I also noticed this guy sitting next to us wearing the Spaceballs, the hockey jersey, which I absolutely loved. Okay, some rough stuff going on here. There was a little bit more that I didn't get to capture, but it was still pretty cool to see some heavyweight bouts. Look at that, and the crowd goes crazy. Here's a little shot of the situation going into overtime. So shots were pretty much even. I do see the 7 minutes instead of 5, which was kind of fun. And I was just very excited to see some extra hockey, even though I knew it was going to push us back a little bit. Still was about the time that I was expecting we were going to get home anyways. And here's the celebration after the overtime win. Yeah, see a little bit more than 5 minutes into the overtime. Kind of squeaks through and then, just barely knocks it in. So that was an awesome win. So either this will be here or it won't.
Or we didn't do that, and sorry.
Sorry, it was fun though. And the Thunder have a promotional thing with Burger King, which is right next to the arena, where if the Thunder score four goals, you get free fries the next day. So the fourth goal got us the free fries, so that was fun.
Nice. You gonna go get those tomorrow?
You know what? I actually might.
Wow.
And they give you, it's like however many tickets you had is the amount of free fry things that you could get. So they got the free fries on a night where I had bought 6 tickets for like our group, and so I went over the next day during like my lunch break. Me and my coworker Tom went over there, and yeah, we got 6 free things of fries, so that was pretty fun.
Nice.
I was like, wow, I'm actually a little surprised that they don't limit this per customer, but they probably aren't losing hardly any money on those, you know.
I was surprised that they had $3 Labatt Light.
Yeah, they did. They have some specialties, drink nights and whatever. But I just got a Pepsi. I didn't really want to drink. I'm not a beer guy either, so it's like, I'm good. But it was.
Is it the ECHL one of the leagues that's just like Friday, Saturday, Sundays?
It's pretty much, yeah. Oh, hey, Vegas just scored. I got the game
Yeah.
on the other screen, because they're playing right now against Seattle. But yeah, the ECHL game was fun. It's they do 7-minute overtime, so we get a little bit more OT. And it was actually pretty entertaining. There were some good chances on both ends. A lot of puck possession for the Thunder, which I liked, of course. And I was actually wearing a Jets jersey to the game, which I didn't realize until like halfway through the game that Norfolk are the ECHL affiliate for the Jets. I was like, whoops. That's the second time I've done that, because I also wore a Bruins jersey when they were playing. I think Maine, the Maine Mariners are the ECHL affiliate for the Bruins, I think. Or maybe it was another team that we saw, but I wore one when they were playing that team too. I was like, whoops. Oh well.
Why'd you choose Winnipeg just because they're on fire right now?
Yeah, I was like, that sounds fun, and I wanted to wear
this
a
team's
hat
good.
too, because I have a Winnipeg Jets hat as well. So I was like, little combo. But it was all right. I didn't get heckled or anything. I'm sure nobody cared, and
He really hates Winnipeg anyway.
yeah. And I wasn't. It's not like I was rooting for the Admirals. Like I was cheering for all the Thunder goals and stuff. So, no, my allegiance wasn't tested.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, it was fun. And they play them again tomorrow. So I think that game should be like very physical / violent, because there were a lot of fights, as you may or may not have seen from my vlog. If we did that, I don't know. But it was pretty intense, and a good one to go to. I think they're 4-1 on the season so far, so that's a pretty good start. And I want to say Norfolk is in their division as well. Maybe not. I don't know.
I didn't realize you were so close to the rink too. I assume you plan on going to more games this year?
Yeah, we had kind of been talking about getting partial or full season tickets after the conclusion of last year's playoffs, and we didn't end up biting on them this year. Maybe we will. They have a drawing for partial season tickets that will be like given away at one of their games towards the end of December. So we're like, wow, maybe we'll just win those. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Probably not, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if in the near future we did get partial or full season tickets, because I don't think they're too crazy, and I think they're pretty entertaining. Again, yeah, very close for us, so it's not like we have to battle through a whole bunch of traffic to get to and from, which is a big bonus. A lot different than if you got Avalanche season tickets.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's
And a lot
not
more expensive, of course.
that too, but like, I mean, traffic's like rush hour is 5, and then the game's at 7, so like it's normally not terrible, but yeah, it's definitely probably worse than where you are.
I would say a lot more people live in that area, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm usually going the opposite direction of everybody else, which is also very nice. So yeah, it's a good place to go. But
What do we have this week for trades and signings?
some minor stuff going on. A trade just announced a little bit ago, but we also had a very minor trade. Ronnie Adard and Ben Gleason are traded. Ronnie going to the Oilers and Gleason going to the Flyers. I think
Blockbuster of a trade.
I had heard of Adard before, and I think some
More than I can say.
fans were like, "Oh, okay," like a little surprised that he was dealt. I'm like, I really don't have a whole lot. I was gonna post it as a joke in the group chat, like, "Oh, yeah, exactly, big blockbuster." Like, here we go, breaking news. But yeah, that's okay. I'm surprised we're getting trades at all, to be honest with you. So we'll see if
There's normally
either of
a
those
couple
guys
small
matter.
ones during the year. It's just they don't like unless you're looking for them, you don't hear about them.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those cases. And then a trade today. So Daniel Sprong returns to Seattle from Vancouver for future considerations. So he's been bouncing around a little bit the last couple of seasons trying to find out where he fits in best. And I guess we'll see if Seattle can use him again.
They played 9 games this year for Vancouver. He's on like I think 975K is league min these days, right? Or is it lower than that?
775 is league min.
Okay, so he's making just under $1 million. He has a 1-year contract. Um,
Only 27, which I was a little surprised. I thought he was a little bit older
seems
than
like
that.
an old guy.
Yeah.
Because again, he's been around the league, like you said.
But we were saying in the off season that he's one of those like analytical darlings, kind of more or less, that people like teams are always interested in what he brings, even if he's not like super flashy. It's like he gets
I don't even know if
gets
it's
it done.
analytical or just like this guy's got that grit that our team needs, or like a locker room. I don't even know if he's a locker room guy, but like I don't know, teams definitely see something in him. I think maybe it's just like having some defensive prowess or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it seems like teams like him. One of those guys that just gets traded around and like, yeah, we'll take a flyer on him, see if he can help us in any way. So again, we talked about this last week. The Kraken are kind of dealing with a lot of injuries, and I think they're just looking for anyone to kind of help at this point. So
Yeah, they're down 2-0 right now to Vegas. I was wondering if Sprong was already here. I don't think so. I thought I saw his number for a second. I think he wears 91. And I could have sworn I saw it on the ice, but I would be surprised if he was already here after being traded like 3 hours ago.
yeah,
But he has already played with them, so he probably knows the system a little bit, even though it was a different head coach last year, with Bilesma now taking the reins.
yeah. And I feel like one of the past few weeks we've spoken about my team, the Bruins, a lot, but we haven't mentioned much about Vegas. So as they're playing tonight, is there any quick thoughts or anything you have on the team up to this point?
They got their first road win against the
yeah.
Oilers on what was it, Wednesday, which was nice to finally break through there, because yeah, it was just tough. I mean, they were winning all of their home games, which made it okay. Like they're not terrible, but they had a overtime loss against Florida where they should have won that game. And then just some of the other road games, they haven't been good, but they were able to clutch up like a late third period goal with less than a minute to go. Hannafin scores, and then they get an empty netter against Edmonton, so that was big. But overall, they've looked like, I don't think they're world beaters right now. They are atop of the Pacific Division at the moment.
Tied with the Kings now, though.
Oh, okay. Well, they are playing right now. The Kraken did just score one though, Tanev, so it's 2-1 Vegas. But they have some things that I would still like to work on. Their penalty kill hasn't been great. Their power play has actually been pretty good. Um, we would like to see a couple guys come back from injury. Olafson, I'd like to see him return because he looked pretty good. He had a hot start. And Stone being day to day is not concerning, but it's like, you always want your captain to be playing. But other than that, I mean, they're for the most part they're doing what they need to do. Be nice just to get more of those road wins. Hopefully they get one tonight, and and keep building.
As far as the Bruins go, I think last time we recorded was last Friday, coming off the 8-2 loss to Carolina. But now the Bruins are back to a clean 500 points percentage, which puts them in a wild card spot. But
That's crazy.
after that 8-2 loss, they went into the weekend and shut out the Flyers and then the Kraken, which is they're not great teams, but good to see that change of pace for the team. And then the Bruins got shut out by the Leafs, but then they won the next game in overtime to Calgary. So we got a big game tomorrow, Saturday. Swayman and Olmark reunited for the first time. They're both expected to start too, so that should be a fun one.
That should be fun. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, neither of the goalies for Boston have had like a super good start. I mean, shutouts are good, but they've also had some real stinkers. So
Yeah, and Korpisalo had some really good saves, but also in the Calgary game, he let a shot in from the point, no screen, no tip or anything. And I was like, I've never seen Olmark or Swayman miss a shot like that.
it's like I'm not used to
And,
this.
even the announcers were like, yeah, I don't know if it just caught him off guard or if the puck was bouncing. They're trying to kind of, I
Make
don't
an
know,
excuse
put a nice,
for him.
yeah,
Like,
trying to help him out.
come on. We're trying our best here, but you really should have had that one.
Yeah.
I think Hill and Samsonov have both been okay to start this season for Vegas, and I believe Samsonov is actually, I don't know if he's injured or if because Schmid has been backing up the last couple of games. Actually, don't know who's in net tonight. I probably should have checked that out. Actually, I think it is Hill, because he just let in that goal and I saw him. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Samsonov, but they both been okay. I haven't really felt like there was a clear this guy should definitely be always starting, because Hill has had some mediocre to bad games. Luckily, the team has still been good enough to usually win those ones. But yeah, I'm not as happy with the tandem as I was last year. But I'm also not they need to trade one of these guys or anything like that. So
Yeah.
it's still early in the season. I'm not panicking right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Dean was starting to panic a little bit, but
Less so now, like I said, we mentioned last week, Montgomery's feet was definitely hot, but he's bought himself some more time. And they also, going back to the trades and signings, we just signed Tyler Johnson to League Min, $775 for 1 year.
he was on
And
that
he's actually
PTO,
looked good.
right?
He's on the he's on the second power play, and it's just sure he's past his prime, he's 34, but he's kind of plays with poise. When he has the puck, he just has a calmness to him that I just feel good about having him on the team.
Yeah, that is nice. It's good to have those guys. I feel like Tanner Pearson is kind of in a similar role this year for Vegas. Also came in on a PTO. It's just nice to have a poised veteran that's not too flashy, but they can control the puck well in the offensive zone. They're not gonna cause a ton of turnovers.
Make a simple play.
Yeah, that's really what you need these guys to do. Hopefully they can overachieve a little bit and you get the most out of them. But if not, you're not really concerned that you're getting bad value or that they're taking up a roster spot from somebody else. And you could always send them down to Providence if you really needed to.
Right.
So yeah, it's good. It's good to get to have those guys get a chance still to play. I think he's probably earned that contract.
And the other Bruins news, I guess, was like on the flip side of Tyler Johnson, you have people like David Pastrnak who's still kind of trying to do too much. And I mean, I think even last year, and since Montgomery's become the coach, Pasternak's kind of been near the top of the league in turnovers, but it's been okay because like, well, if you have the puck a lot, you're gonna have turnovers, and if you're gonna be trying these things, but like this year, I don't know if he's just been doing it at worse times or what, but it's definitely been more noticeable. And he had one the other night where it's like almost led to a goal against, and then Montgomery benched him for the whole third period. So even though they won that game, there was still talk about like I don't know what's going on there, but always something with the Bruins, win or lose.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. There's been a couple
It's a
different
big
teams
market.
that have been benching stars because of poor
Flyers.
play. The Flyers who was it that they benched?
What's their young guy's name?
They have a
Well, they
bunch.
sat. I think they scratched him.
Oh,
Not Fedotov.
the Michkov,
Michkov.
Matvey Michkov. Yeah, the rookie there. Yeah, I did see that. That's a big one. They're like, yeah, he understands like what happened there, and sometimes
It was a healthy scratch. That's what it was.
it's kind of just like a message to the rest of the team too.
And it's Tortorella. He's not afraid to do that kind
Oh
of thing.
God, no, he lives for that. No, I'm sure he wants everybody to play, but you can't just let guys coast, especially with the Flyers in the position that they're in right now. Like, they're not expected to be super super good, so try to get the most out of these guys like they did last year. Did you see this unconfirmed signing by the Bruins, Loke Johansson? I have never heard of this guy, and I don't think I had ever heard the name Loke or Loke or whatever.
Where do you see that?
It's unconfirmed on Cap Wages right now. 18 years of age, Swedish born, 6'3",
I mean, I think
defenseman.
the name sounds kind of familiar.
Signed to an entry level deal. When was he drafted? 2024 sixth round pick this year. Well, 2024 obviously. So there you go. I just wonder like what prompts these signings, like where I don't know where he's playing right now, like if he's playing in Providence or with Maine, or if he's in college or something. Like I always just kind of wonder what prompts these like entry level contracts to be signed if these guys aren't like expected to be called up. Like I wouldn't expect that this guy would be playing with the Bruins anytime soon. So I don't know like what
Right.
happens there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just maybe they want him to start playing in Providence if cause he's probably playing in junior leagues right now. And I don't know if it says if it's it's entry level. Yeah, and if I assume it's like a two-way, but
Yeah, I would think so. Doesn't it usually say on here what the contract status is?
yeah, I don't know how it works with like those kind of signings when it's like you just plan on having them in AHL. I assume it's not something that you're expecting, like you said, them to be playing for the Boston Bruins, and it's not affecting our cap in any negative way. I don't imagine we would just take up a million cap space just for someone like him. So
Yeah.
I assume it's a contract that you can just have buried, if you want to call it that.
Oh well, it's an entry level deal. So yeah, I think that means that you can send them down without going through waivers, right?
Sure.
Maybe I got that wrong, but there's definitely some nuances that I still am like not the best at remembering when it comes to waiver claim or waiver requirements and assignments and recalls and all that stuff.
That's why I'm not going to pretend to know why they signed him, just assuming that they know what they're doing.
Yeah. It's like, well, they're getting paid a lot more money than I am, so for hockey. So yeah, go ahead, do whatever. But there you go. I think that's all we got for recent signings and what have you. Again, pretty light this time of year usually. And we're still quite a ways away from the trade deadline. So nothing going on there. I did hear, Kevin Weeks had done one of his classic IMOG tweets about 11.5 million being the rumor for Shesterkin. I think was what he was implying. He didn't like explicitly say Shesterkin, and I don't know if that's like a 7-year deal, an 8-year deal, or like 4 years. I don't know, but that was what he was kind of hinting. I don't know how close we are to a new extension being signed, especially after he got pulled in the game against the Sabres, allowed 5 goals on 12 shots and got pulled. Like, oh, that's not making a good case for making the big bucks. Of course, he's better than that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's definitely an outlier, but you still don't want that to happen, and the Sabres end up winning that one on the road. So that was a tough one.
Yeah, I still don't expect them to make that signing anytime soon. I mean, there's not really a rush.
Yeah, I don't think there is either. I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen during the season, but if they just wait until the summer or after the playoffs, like, I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I mean, maybe there would be some, like, other teams that could be trying to compete to sign him, but again, I think if you're the Rangers, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to let him walk if you're like squabbling over money.
You're gonna pay him whatever he wants.
I think so. Especially with that market, like imagine letting him go. Like they had Lundqvist for a long time, and he was excellent, and then you have another like superstar goalie that you were able to grab, and you just let him walk. I don't think that would work. So
No.
I would be surprised if he made any more than 11 and a half. Even that is a lot of money for a goalie. I mean, the term obviously matters there. Like if it's a 3-year, 4-year bridge deal, that's a little easier to stomach than like 8 years, 11.5 million per. That's a lot. A big chunk of your cap going to one guy, especially.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like it is a lot, but I don't know. If there's anyone that deserves it, any goalie, it's him. So
Yeah, I'd say either like him or just Vasilevsky based on his track record, especially in the playoffs. Like, yeah, he's worth that.
mm-hmm.
So we'll keep you posted.
Yep. Speaking of good hockey players, the Hall of Fame induction happened today. I know we already covered who not got inducted, but got named to be inducted. But the official induction happened today, and that was another one of those NHL things that they don't really tell you about, and you're just like, oh yeah, that's today.
Yeah,
Um,
I had no idea.
and then the only thing that I got out of it was, I don't know if this was something that Shea Weber was talking about, like when he got inducted today or what, but this article had a quote about when he got the call that he was in, like he was golfing and he thought it was a spam call, and he's like, and I was about to putt and my watch started vibrating, so I rejected it again, walked over to the cart, it vibrates again, reject, and then he's like, that's weird, is there like a Zoom meeting I'm supposed to be on? Why is Ontario calling me? Um, and then someone sent him a text saying, hey, it's Kelly from the Hall of Fame, you might want to call us back.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, if I was a professional hockey player, and going to the Hall of Fame, naturally, I probably would do the same thing because like I do not answer phone calls from anyone I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't blame
Unless
him one bit.
you're calling in to the Bread Loves Hockey podcast.
Yeah, maybe I'll pick up.
Yeah.
No, I haven't had my notifications on for that. But yeah, please call in.
Please do. Number on screen now.
On screen all the time.
Yeah. Now. And then.
Wow.
It's even in the thumbnail. But
We even have an email.
that's a good story. I don't know many of the other. Actually, I don't know if I know any of the other inductees. Just I
Well,
wasn't
it
really
was
following along with it. Or that is it the nominees?
well, again, this was the induction. They'd already announced who was going in. I forget when they
Oh,
announced it.
right,
There was
right.
Ronick, Datsuk, Natalie Darwitz, Chrissy Wendell Pohl, and then in the builders category was Colin Campbell and David Boyle.
I do remember talking about that over the summer. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why it's so far apart, but now they're officially in the Hall of
There
Fame.
you go. Congratulations to that lot. Definitely some well-deserved inductions there.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's going to be a while before like players are getting in that I've really watched a ton of.
But I joined the league after you started watching.
That
Like,
will definitely take a while.
and then like Austin Matthews' kid is getting into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. You're blowing my mind, Dean.
It's gonna happen. I think the one that's gonna hit the most is when I'm older than like anyone in the NHL. That'll be like the first like news flash. Like, oh, because like we do it all the time. Where we're like, oh, this guy's 34. Like, what an old guy. Like, how is he still even playing?
Yeah, yeah. This guy's dust. It's like,
Yeah,
actually, you're dust now.
yeah.
You
Oh,
can't
we're
say
the old
anything.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember when we were at Clarkson, we all used to always be like, Connor McDavid's the same age as us. Like, we could be doing that theoretically. We could be Connor McDavid.
He's done a
Obviously,
lot more
we
than we
can't.
have at our age.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a lot more successful. But he also worked real hard for it. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's tough pill to swallow sometimes though. And we're always going
Yep.
to be getting older. But we got a good, you know, 10, 15 years before we're older than everybody in the league, I would hope.
Maybe with sports medicine in 10 or 15 years, people will be playing until they're 45. Who knows?
Yeah, although the league keeps getting younger, so maybe they'll start getting 16-year-olds playing.
Yeah. Well,
No,
Ovi's still playing, and he's however
30,
old he is. But like, have you heard the things where it's like, well, we
39.
don't know his actual age. Like, he could be older.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that. Like,
Apparently, like players from Russia like had like fake birth certificates or something. I don't know. Or keep making this all up. Let me see if I can validate any of this.
yeah. He didn't score tonight. Sam
Like
was in
Kovalchuk's
attendance.
actual age is 2 years older than is indicated in his documents. It was a common practice in Russia youth hockey in the 90s and early 2000s.
Hmm. Well, maybe
So Ovi
he's
might be already 45 for all we know.
45. I
I
would hope.
mean, he's had gray hair since he was 25. Feels like.
He has had the gray for a little while now.
Yeah, he's 39.
Getting up there. And we just
An article, Hockey Feed article from 2020. Kovalchuk accidentally reveals Ovechkin's real age.
Oh, Kovalchuk, what are you doing? Ilya. Spilling the beans on Ovi. We just saw that Macklin Celebrini, the youngest player in the league, scored on Marc-Andre Fleury, the oldest goalie in the league, which was pretty I think he's just the oldest player in the league, too. He's also 39, going on 40. So that was fun. Quite a age disparity there. And fun story Celebrini will be able to tell.
Apparently, Kovalchuk had a quote in 2020 saying that since we were 13-year-olds, and
Oh,
Kovalchuk is 2 years older, but also apparently Kovalchuk is 2 years older than he put on his papers.
so
So it could be anywhere from 39 to 43.
yeah, wow. Hmm.
Only he knows.
I feel like he can't be 43. Like he can't be.
Me in the middle at 41.
Yeah, deal. Of course, I mean
Okay.
Yager, you know, is still kicking around at what, like 54 or
Yeah, we're gonna see when he
53.
left the NHL. Um, 2017.
So yeah, like
He's 52.
oh,
So it would have been,
52.
yeah,
Okay.
45,
Yeah.
44, 45.
Yeah, I mean, he really shouldn't have been playing. Well, actually, I can't. I guess I can't say anything because he's still been playing
Does
in
Ovi
Czech.
really only look 2 years older than Crosby?
Uh, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
He's got baby face,
I
but
think it's just because of the gray hair. I think that's like I don't know. Crosby's definitely getting up there too, but he does
yeah.
have more of a Sid the Kid, you know, face. Not quite a kid anymore, of course, but
hmm
yeah, they do look a lot different in age. Obi's got
That was
the
a fun
pepper beard,
side quest.
non sequitur sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always fun. We don't have like a ton on the docket today, so we'll see how far we
Oh,
go.
the other random thing I wanted to talk about that I didn't put on the doc was, um, obviously I'll talk about what Elliot Friedman reports and take info from the 32 Thoughts podcast, but they stole something from us. Today on their podcast, they did a SpongeBob transition time card, and I was like, "Hey, that's our thing."
We were the first people to do that.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe they've done it before, but I've been listening for a while. I've never heard it, so I'm like, they stole that from us. We know you're watching.
Thanks, Elliot. I think I wrote
Yeah,
into the show one time. Like I sent an email, and
I sent an email today for the first time. We'll see if I get an answer on Monday.
I don't think. I mean, I feel like you would have
I
told
think it.
me if they had read my question on whatever
Oh,
episode
yeah.
I
Brendan from New
sent in.
York, huh? I wonder if that's
Yeah,
what a coincidence.
that's weird. Um, but yeah, I haven't heard from.
Yeah, I'm sure they get a lot of emails and calls.
They probably do. Did you see Jeff Merrick is gonna be making a new show soon? He just like had
No,
a little teaser announcement on Twitter the other day. So he's back, baby.
like another hockey podcast.
I assume so. I didn't end up watching the whole
Well, I already
thing.
have one. 'Cause there's like American Brzezinski one. I thought.
I think it's like something else. It's got a
Hmm.
got a new name. I don't remember what it is though. But
And then the other thing they mentioned on the
search that up.
podcast today was they're like, maybe we'll do a 32 Thoughts type podcast during a broadcast. And I was like, yeah, like a Manning cast type thing. And I know we
Mm-hmm.
talked about this with the Bruins, which I still haven't seen because I have no way to watch it. But I was like, yeah, I'd love to check something like that
Oh
out.
yeah,
They could do an
Bergeron's on there.
intermission thought line.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Potentially dangerous. Hope they'd have to have it like not be live, I would think. But that could be fun. Or even just like take questions on Twitter or live, like do something like that. Like, all
Yeah.
right, we're in intermission. Reply to this tweet, and we might talk about your question or statement or whatever on the intermission. Yeah, I like stuff like that. I
Um,
probably it would probably
did
be on
you?
TSN, I would imagine.
Yeah, but that would be easier for me to find than like Nesson Plus or whatever.
Nesson 360, yeah, whatever that
Yeah.
that's on.
Imagine if it's like just on TSN, I could probably get it through ESPN Plus.
I would hope so. I don't even know like yeah what viewing TSN packages there are for American viewers. They probably aren't any. Like I don't know if their rights extend to the U.S. like that. I don't know. That stuff's always kind of complicated.
Yeah. Did you hear that the IIHF is proposing 3v3 hockey in the Olympics?
I did see that. It's what 2030 is when they were targeting that.
Yeah.
All right, we got some time, but
Any thoughts on that?
that sounds fun.
More hockey? Why not?
I mean, yeah, like the only I guess the only thing would be like, would it draw away? Well, I don't know. I feel like players would just do both events, like if they were eligible
I don't know
to.
if you could though. Like what I heard is basketball does this, and it's like you have just some random basketball players like I don't even know. Some might not have even played in the NBA, but like you have those just a set of skills that make you good at 3v3 and not necessarily like the best NBA player. So I wonder if it would be similar. But even if that's the case, I think it would be cool to see hockey players that you might not have on your radar playing at an Olympic level. But like I don't think you're gonna see McDavid playing 3v3 because you're gonna want to have him obviously for Team Canada in the main Olympics. But like I said, more hockey.
Well, what says that the regular 5-on-5 is the main hockey? I mean,
Yeah.
3v3, that could be the wave. Everyone's like, finally, this is
Like,
what we've been
yeah,
wanting.
well, Canada might have won 5v5, but Team USA won 3v3. That's what all really matters.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, I probably not. It probably wouldn't be the go-to, but I do still think that's fun. I
Yeah.
would certainly be happy to see it. We're just excited to hopefully see the Olympics or the Olympics at hockey, the NHL at NHL players at the Olympics soon, because we've been burned a couple times before where it seemed like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, the league wants players to play, and then you know things get in the way, global events get in the way,
Yeah.
and then we're disappointed again. But we get a
The
little
darn
teaser.
pandemic.
Yeah, we get a little teaser with the Four Nations face off. Not really the same thing, but it's something best on best. But I think, yeah, ultimately Olympics is the end goal for
Right. Because
fans.
that four nation, you're missing a lot of big stars from other countries. So,
A lot of other nations.
yeah.
There's like, I don't know, probably like 20 or 25 different ones represented in the league right now. I'd imagine some that it's like one or two guys, but
Well, we should know. We did the whole lineup.
mm-hmm. I just saw that Ehlers became the highest scoring Danish-born player in the league.
Oh, yeah. Well, in the league or ever, right?
Yeah, ever.
Yeah. Good for him.
League history. Yeah,
There we go.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
He's probably been the highest scoring Danish in the league for a while.
I think he like just broke through. I don't
No,
know.
but I'm saying like if he was just a Dane with the highest scoring in the league out of all the other ones in the league currently, like active.
Oh, yes.
Probably
That's
passed that a while ago.
I would say so. Yeah, but that's still fun. I still like stuff like that. There was a rookie Flyers goalie who,
Tall guy.
no, not Fedotov. They had another guy. Was the first Belarusian born goaltender to start a game in the NHL, which was pretty cool. I can't remember his
I
name.
feel like we're gonna see more and more of this as the sport grows, hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a couple different Belarusian players lately that have been getting some talk. And yeah, we saw. I think Norway had a couple of first round draft picks this year. So yeah, it's just like I feel like the game, especially in Europe, is still continuing to grow.
And I mentioned last year that like Mason Lohrei was the first NHLer from Louisiana. So I
Yep.
want to see once we get all 50 states, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I wonder how many we have still to go.
I think we looked last year. It was like 4 or 5.
That's it. Wow, that's great. I know we mentioned Jake Sanderson for Montana. I think he's the only Montana-born player to play in the league. I wonder, like, I would imagine
Right now,
Hawaii might be tough.
for active NHLers, how many states do you think are represented?
Active?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like 20 or 25 at most.
34.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those states have one player each.
That makes sense. I was
North
figuring.
Carolina, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Maryland, Utah, Mississippi, Virginia, Alabama, and Montana.
Wow, Mississippi and Alabama. All right. That's good. Some southern states getting some representation. Oklahoma as well is a bit of a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Utah, I guess it makes more sense just because
New
it's a
York's
little
got the
colder.
most. You've got Minnesota beat by about 200,
I would have guessed New York probably
and
first.
Massachusetts and Michigan. The top four I would have probably guessed.
Yeah. And then after that, like, I don't know, maybe Missouri has a decent amount, I would think.
It's a
Probably
weird guess, but yeah, they're 10th. There's a big drop off after 4.
probably
Goes from
some other
4,500 to 2,000.
oh yeah, that is probably some other northeastern states like New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, maybe Connecticut,
Um,
maybe
so New
Pennsylvania.
Hampshire has 2.
Two, there you
Luke
go.
Hughes apparently was born there. Not the other Hughes brothers, but Luke Hughes was, and Casey DeSmith.
Oh,
Maine also has 2.
okay, so they're not as big.
Number. Oh wait, what was I sorting by before?
I don't know.
Why are there way less players now?
You got rid of them, Dean.
Oh, I was on points. So actually, Minnesota's number 1. New York's number 1 for points.
Oh, okay.
Minnesota, Michigan, Massachusetts, New York
Oh, so they're
are the top
fifth then.
4.
Wow, okay.
And then New Jersey. No, New Jersey's 5th. New York's 4th.
Oh, all right. I'll take it. Yeah, New Jersey
Doesn't seem
makes
right,
sense.
though, because these numbers add up to like 100.
This is active?
According to Quant Hockey, yeah.
I'm not familiar with that source.
Quant Hockey has a lot of advanced analytics, but I guess they also have what states players are from.
I would think maybe the NHL website would have something like that, but I don't know if it's like easy to decipher through.
Hockey Reference also has one
That
NHL
makes more
players
sense.
of birth, and this is all players. So, but I don't know which states aren't represented. There's just a list. I guess I could just count each one, but
Don't
looks
want
like a
to.
little more than 34.
Yeah, it's probably like around 40, maybe 45 total.
26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 43.
43? Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I wonder how many Canadian provinces have been represented. Probably not. Definitely not all of them. Like
Well,
12. Okay. I definitely don't know how many
the
there are
lowest
total.
is 3 from Yukon and 5 from Northwest Territories.
Yeah. Those northern ones, like Nunavut and
Oh,
all
Dylan
the
Cousins.
territories. Those are tough.
Dylan Cousins is from Yukon,
Oh,
along with Byron Baltimore and Peter Sturgeon,
I've heard of Peter Sturgeon.
all born in Whitehorse.
Oh, White Horse. I think I've heard of that. Yeah, there's not a lot of people living up there as you get closer and closer to the Arctic Circle. Like
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
pretty sparse. But then like I don't remember why. I was just kind of like scrolling through Google Maps and just kind of checking out some stuff up there, and you see like there's still a Tim Hortons in like the middle of nowhere. It's like, okay, that's pretty funny. That's probably like the main source of food for A lot of people besides like fishing or whatever. But yeah.
This is a fun. I could spend some time on this. There's like all these random countries that have had one player, like someone from Jamaica and Haiti, Indonesia.
Yeah, that stuff's fun.
Uzbekistan, Taiwan. Anyway,
Taiwan. We have a couple more injuries to go over. So Matthews was placed on IR retroactively for the 3rd. He's probably only going to miss a couple of games, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal, but the injury was undisclosed, so that's always a little like concerning, but I mean, he probably will be back soon. But you never want him to be out. They seem to do fine without him, though. Actually, I've seen like some posts
they have a winning
about that.
record because he was out against the Bruins, and which that game they won too.
Yeah,
they're like 30 something, 15-2 maybe, like around that number.
yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. They
Really?
won without him in the playoffs against the Bruins, and then he came back and they lost.
Yeah, he came back
That was
game
it.
7. They're like, "What are you doing?" No, stay away. Yeah, I don't think there were many Leafs fans that were hoping that Matthews wouldn't play in game 7.
Yeah.
That's all right. I think he'll be fine. And then, so we were talking a bit about Holloway getting hit in the neck with a puck. That was kind of a scary moment because he skated. He blocked the shot with his neck. Well, he just got hit in the neck, and then he skates back to the bench, and he's kind of like just like his eyes are all
He finished
wide.
the play too. He blocked a shot and then was on a 2-on-1. Like he finished his shift basically.
Yeah, and then he goes back to the bench, and he was saying in an interview afterwards that like he did not remember anything like between going to the bench and then he's like getting stretchered off the ice.
Yeah, he said it hit like his vagus nerve, and which is like kind of somewhere in here. And yeah, like they stopped the play and everything. And he was sitting on the bench, and the trainer was like holding his neck. But yeah, he said he's kind of felt like a head rush when you stand up too fast, and the next thing he knew, he was on a stretcher in an ambulance. Like that's kind of scary. But
Yeah.
I mean, that was from an interview the next day, so he's like, I feel fine now. It's just, I guess if you get hit in that nerve, it can cause weird things to happen. So it
Yeah.
was definitely scary in the moment because you didn't know what was happening, and yeah, he did not look like he was all there. That's for sure.
Fortunate. Like I think there's a lot worse ways that getting hit in the neck could go. So scary moment, but luckily seems to be all right. Yeah, you never want to see anything like that.
Yeah. And then the other injury news we had was apparently Landeskog had a significant setback. I don't know. This came out yesterday, and it was reported, quoting two trusted sources. Don't know if there's anything more since then, but they basically said, "I hope this turns out to be wrong because he doesn't deserve this." Which, yeah, obviously, everyone's rooting for him, the captain. You want him to come back.
Man,
Yeah,
that is
I
tough.
just want to see him play at least one more game.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wants to go out on his own terms too, I'd imagine.
Oh, for sure. Especially if he's been fighting for trying to get back since he got surgery, which is what, May 2023. So yeah, he has been out for a significant amount of time, and a lot of the other players on the Avs, as we've been talking about, have been injured. So it compounds things more when the team's struggling, and yeah, you just can't really be there to help out in the way that you want to. I would also hope that he's able to come back in some way if he's physically able to. Like I would hope that he would stress his health first if it comes down to that. But yeah, not a positive story, unfortunately, for Colorado.
Yeah, it does look like that Bednar addressed this and said that setback could be fair. They just changed his course of attack for a little bit because of the way he was feeling. I don't think there was any one thing that happened or something where he just like major changes to it. But he's been on the ice and off the ice. There's no timeline. It's just a change of course. I wouldn't call it a major setback or anything. So might just be one of those media things getting blown out of proportion.
You know, that certainly happens. We've been known to do that. So, yeah, hoping the best for him. Even though I don't root for the Avalanche, I definitely would like to see him make a return. We saw that documentary that just came out, the Amazon series where he was featured, and yeah, it's tough to see the behind the scenes. We didn't get like a ton on what he was going through as far as like day to day rehab and that sort of stuff. We got a little bit of that. I'd imagine there's like maybe some privacy concerns with filming that stuff. So that was interesting what we got to see, and yeah, again, just hoping for a way for him to get back and healthy. I think
You want to
that's what we
talk
got.
about these new PWHL jerseys?
I'd love to. I had been wondering like when we were gonna see these, and then they posted a teaser, some teaser photos, and now we have the full reveal for the jerseys. And I mean, overall, I think they're pretty good. Like, this is more or less what we were expecting of them. Now that we had gotten the logos, like I wasn't like shocked by what I saw for the most part. There were a couple of accent colors that were added to some of these jerseys that hadn't been like featured as far as like the branding for the teams go. I think Boston introduced the teal color for theirs a little bit, which they hadn't really used yet, which I like. They got that on the shoulders and on some of the striping. I think that one might be my favorite.
Pretty good. I like the colors of the sirens, but ever since Owen pointed out the thing with the S's, I don't like the logo.
Yeah, I'm not like in love with that logo. I also that the Sirens jersey just in general is like okay. There's some weird design choices. There's some striping around the sleeves that like it doesn't continue the whole way. It's not continue like it just kind of
Yeah.
stops, which is a little weird. It's like an orange, and I think there's a gray circle too.
Actually, I mean the Minnesota one is the same. The striping doesn't. Maybe they all do that. Yeah, even they all do stop halfway.
Is that true? Oh yeah, I am seeing the Minnesota one right now. Maybe did they all have the
Um,
same exact striping?
well,
No,
no,
I
because
don't
look
think
at the
so.
Montreal one.
Yeah,
That one
no.
looks like it goes all the way around. I do actually like the Montreal jersey. I know we talked about it in the group chat. I forget someone didn't like it. This jersey's already
Gifford
sold
didn't
out, by
like
the
it.
way, on the website. The Montreal one,
They're
all
available.
sizes sold out.
Oh really? Yeah,
Montreal.
the Montreal one
You can
is
get
good.
blank for 135 or a couple player ones for 225. And these are Bauer. So let's see,
Yeah,
the Hillary Knight one sold out. Frankel sold out. Um, the Boston blank one is still has some. But yeah, these are going quick.
I
I
guess
also
I'm gonna.
like the little accents on all the player numbers on the back. Like they're all kind of different depending on the team. And I like the actually like the Ottawa one the best, which isn't on the website, but I saw it in the video you posted. They have little like white streaks.
I'm trying to
Here,
scrub
how
through
many?
right now to find that.
At like 215.
Oh yeah. Oh, those are cool. I did like
Yeah.
the
Look how fast those numbers are moving on
yeah.
the back.
They're zooming.
They're charging.
They're charging. Yeah. I think the white colorized charge logo looks a little bit better on the Ottawa home jerseys. It's
Mhm.
still I still don't think it's good, but Doesn't look
No, I
terrible.
really just like the numbers on the back. The rest of the jersey's kind of eh.
Yeah.
I don't mind the yellow and gray kind of striped colors, though.
Oh, it's
Oh,
actually not that bad.
I
Differentiates
don't
it a
like.
little bit.
I think the Toronto is my least favorite.
Yeah, Toronto is a little bit
Minnesota's a lot of
uninspiring.
purple.
The purple I do think is pretty good. I like we're bouncing around a lot here, but I like the
Have all the
the
pictures
fleur
up.
de lis that's on the numbering for the Victoire numbers. I think those are pretty fun. I like that their away jerseys are that cream color instead of the white, like just a straight white, which is good too.
Right.
So I feel like overall, maybe as a set, I would vote that Montreal has my favorite ones, and then probably Boston. Um, I guess I'll see what I do with the Sirens. I'll probably get one because I already have the inaugural season one down there. But yeah, there's just a couple things about the New York one that isn't my favorite. I guess that whole non-continuous striping thing is not exclusive to New York, but I would prefer if they hadn't done that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And the Sirens like word mark being teal on the teal background for the jersey is a little weird. I mean, I think it sticks out enough where it's not like completely blending in, but yeah, a little disappointed in the Sirens branding, which is too bad. Like I'm like, damn, now I kind of wish I had picked Boston. I guess I still could, but I think
Not
I'm
too
gonna stick
late.
with New York. I should probably just be rooting for my local team, even though they're playing in New Jersey this year.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll switch over to a Buffalo team if they get an expansion next season.
I wonder if the PWHL comes to Colorado, if I'd make them my team, or if I'm already committed to Boston.
That's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
It might be
I
a
can make
little
them.
while before they come out to Colorado though, because just travel, it's gonna be difficult getting western cities involved in the league. So I would expect, like we had reported on last week, that the two expansion teams, if they go that route, the following season will be Boston, or not Boston, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and maybe Quebec City, something in that area, Chicago, Detroit, somewhere still in the East. With Minnesota being the furthest west right now. But overall, I think they did a pretty good job. The players seem to really enjoy them, which was nice. Saw some fun videos of that.
I like the video.
Yeah, me too. And then Bauer did a video where they had, I think it was all the captains were unboxing their first jersey that they ever wore. Like Bauer got them from their family or whatever, and that was pretty fun, sharing the stories about that. So yeah, check that stuff out. We are looking forward to the PWHL returning pretty soon. I believe it's the 30th, so we're still a few weeks out. But it'll be fun to see them now with the branding, and I'd expect the in-person fans to be just as packed. The buildings, especially since a good amount of the teams are going to be playing in NHL arenas this year. I know.
That was the other thing from the
New York
video.
is.
One of the women for the Ottawa Charge was wearing like a sweater, like not the jersey sweater, like an actual sweater.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like really cool. Like obviously it was a Charge branded, but I was like, that looks way cooler than the jersey. There's a lot of yellow on it and stuff. They have like, at least now with the colors finalized and the logos, you can have all sorts of fun merch. So that's also the exciting part.
Is it that red and yellow one?
Yeah, I already closed the video, but
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I do think they have some good merch. We were talking about it when the logos and everything were initially dropped, that they actually did pretty well with the merchandise so far. The prices are a little bit much, which is why I haven't bought anything yet. I was thinking about getting a Sirens sweater, but it was like $75 or $80. I was like, I'm not quite there yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if I got something by the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what Boston Fleet has: apparel, headwear and accessories, drinkware, collectibles.
There you go. Get some
There's only
drinkware.
3 hats. They're actually all kind of lame.
Get a
But
shot
I'm sure I'll
glass.
find something.
Yeah, you get something a little more low key, like a hat or just a t-shirt, rather than something more expensive like a hoodie or a jersey.
Yeah, I think a jersey would be cool though.
I'm a fan of getting jerseys, of course. So,
Yes.
full agreement there.
Um,
That was fun.
so I saw you posted this tweet about the NCAA Division One Council voting to allow Canadian Hockey League players to be eligible for Division One college hockey starting next season.
Next
That's
August.
another thing that they talked about on the 32 Thoughts podcast today. And apparently there was like some wording in the contract that like they're eligible once they complete their like BHL duties or however they worded it. And I think Elliot was talking about he didn't know if that was actually enforceable or not, but it'll be interesting to see how this decision affects player development moving forward. But it was something that people have been saying was gonna happen for a while now, but things move slowly with college politics, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
So, but I guess it's good that's finally done, and we'll see what happens.
I think it'll be really good for development for some players that weren't really able to get those type of opportunities before. Um, so I don't watch like a ton of NCAA D1 hockey myself. I mean, we watch some of the Clarkson games, and that's kind of it. But as far as development goes, I think it'll be big. Just gives you another opportunity that you wouldn't have had, and seems like it's something that players, agents have been hoping for a while. I'm sure some of the NHL teams have been hoping to get something like that passed too, just so they can maybe get a better look at players that are a little bit closer. Like if they can get players to, instead of playing in Canada, maybe they're playing at a college that's closer to the team, something like that. Just easier to scout that way too.
There's definitely been situations where players could have benefited from going to a different league, but they're locked into a contract. It's like, well, that's the way it is, but not anymore. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
stunting
sure there'll
stunting the
be
development.
unintended consequences as well, but hopefully more pros than cons. Always what you wish for.
Yeah, and I think there hasn't been a lot of fans that are like, oh, this is not going to be good for either the CHL or the NCAA. Like, I don't think there's been a lot of people that were upset to hear this. So,
I don't know. There's one guy on Twitter. His name is Dumb Boston at Boston Dumb. Um, just a terrible decision for hockey in the U.S. So that guy's not happy about it.
well, uh, maybe we shouldn't be taking his username too seriously. He knows everything, obviously.
Yeah. He said that college hockey will be much better, especially the bottom teams. I worry about what this will do for the future of a sport that already has huge retention problems at the youth level.
I mean, I don't know how poor the retention is for the CHL. I feel like Canada doesn't have a problem with retaining junior hockey
Yeah.
players. Maybe he's referring more to American-born players that are trying to compete with other CHL players, like for
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're a
spots.
U.S. kid, you still go play in the CHL.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's fair.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we still got another season to go before this comes into effect. Uh, so we'll get more details as we get closer on the specifics.
The main thing is it seems like better players will be in college hockey. So
Yeah, so it should be fun. I mean, there's definitely been some like super teams, more or less, that you kind of think of as the powerhouses for D1 hockey for men's and women's. So hopefully this opens the door for maybe some other, programs to boost themselves up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if, like some CHL players that are kind of close to Potsdam would come and play for
I
Clarkson.
was gonna say, yeah, hey, we're close to, or Potsdam's close
We're
to
basically
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, maybe just a quick little scoot over the border and you can play for us.
Pop on down south. Yeah, that would be cool. And yeah, Clarkson doesn't always do the best at competing with some of the other big name schools. It's like they can only do so much.
And we got that Bruins prospect, and he's like, I'm out of here
He's
before we
like,
even got to play. He's like,
yeah,
Boston sounds better.
yeah. I mean, and it makes sense. I'm sure the location is a huge part of it. Like if you just don't like being in a small town, a smaller school, not as much nightlife and all those sorts of things, it makes sense. But if you want to get your business degree or engineering degree or whatever, head on over to Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're all doing there, right? They're getting their degrees. Nothing else.
Nope. Best business school in the U.S.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know about best.
This happened after we recorded last week, like a day or two after in the Tampa Bay Winnipeg game. This goalie interference call that wasn't goalie interference.
I saw this and I was surprised that it wasn't called goalie interference.
It seems like most people were.
Yeah. I mean, we're always going to be able to nitpick some scenarios like this where the refs get it wrong, but it just seems like he was directly shoved before, like by a player in the crease, and then, yeah, there's no way he's able to make a play. Hellebuck,
There was
that
a
is.
situation like a week or two before this where the same night there were two different calls. It was like the first one, there was a player going for the puck and kind of jabbing at it, but they made contact with the puck, so they called it good or whatever. So then another team, like seeing this an hour later in their game, made the same challenge and it was a similar situation, but it was called in the other direction. So it seems like there's no consistency. But this one's like, sure, he's kind of playing in the puck, but he's like just uses the stick and pushes. I assume Hellebuck.
Yeah, he pushes Hellebuck's pad.
Hellebuck's pad into the net.
Like, maybe you could argue that, like, Hellebuck should be able to, like, prevent himself from, like, getting pushed over. I don't know. It just seemed like, as the goalie, you're in that vulnerable position where, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time staying upright or whatever if you're getting poked like that.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any consolation, but I feel like, there have to seem to be bad, or there's more of a spotlight on bad refing in like all sports. I don't know. Did you watch any of the Thursday night football game?
Yes, I did.
Did you watch the end of that game?
Yes, I did.
Where I forget who the announcer was. He's like, all right, so that should have been pass interference. Over there should have also been pass interference, and then roughing the passer. And it's like none of that got called.
Yeah.
And he was like, this has been happening more and more where games get decided on missed calls. And I'm like, well, it's not just the
Yeah,
NHL.
Michaels
It's
was
just,
saying that.
I don't know what's going on with sports. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Goaltender interference especially is one that
always.
nobody ever knows what it is, when it happens. It's one of the most contentious penalties, or lack thereof, sometimes, where it's like, really, this is when you decided to call it, or this is when you decided, nope, that's fine, that's legal. It can be very frustrating if you're on the wrong end of it, for sure. And yeah, I don't think we're ever gonna get to a point where we're happy with the calls where it's consistent, unless something's drastically changed with how the rule is written or how the rule is called by officials. And we still won't be getting, interviews after games with referees. Like, take us through the non-call there. Like, it would just be so beneficial to at least like hear from them, get some rationale. Sometimes we get that afterwards, but it's very seldom that you hear direct quotes from referees after the game on a particular play. Usually it's a coach being asked by a reporter on how he felt the play was called, and maybe they'll reference something that the ref or the official told them, but that's usually the extent of it, which is too bad.
Yep.
It would be nice to get that. But
As long as, it's only November, they'll figure it out by playoffs, right?
yeah, that's usually when they dial in the most, and
Yeah,
there's really
no
never
issues.
any
Never any
concerns.
reffing controversy in March or April or
no,
May.
I've never heard of it. Oh,
Speaking about controversy,
I don't think so. I don't think this one's controversial.
well, I think more about not the suspension, but how many games.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So Tanner Janot got suspended 3 games for his hit on Brock Besser, hit to the head. And this is one of the more like blatant, clear-cut hits I've seen.
Yeah,
Like,
you
illegal hits.
You should have seen my reaction to it before we started the episode. I was like, "Oh gosh, that's very clearly a check right to the head."
Yeah, the slow-mo doesn't look great.
Oh.
Yeah. And like open ice, it's a late hit. Like he's like following through. Like he has so much time to not do that, to either not hit him at all or hit more of his body. But he's only been fined once in his 200 and whatever games. So the PW, or not the PWHL, the whatever acronym they are.
Player safety, Department of Player Safety.
There we go. They gave him 3 games because he had no related history, but I feel like it was so blatant you could probably do at least 5. I don't know.
5, yeah.
Even more than that, but
maybe they're just like chalking it up to like just a boneheaded thing, like he wasn't thinking about it. If that happens again, I wouldn't be surprised if he got more than 3. But
yeah, the other thing is like, sometimes they take this into account where it happened halfway through the first period. It's like, all right, I already missed 1 game because he also got like a game misconduct for it. So, like, it's kind of 4 games. If you think about it.
Yeah, really, it's really 4.
Yeah.
So, it's not too bad. I think he should learn from this suspension and not do that again. But yeah, that one is pretty obvious. One that I think, yeah, the refs definitely got the call right on that one. And yeah, we can debate on whether or not we feel the suspension level was warranted, or if it should have been less than that, or should have been more. I think I'm okay with 3. Maybe if someone said 4 or 5, I wouldn't like scoff at it, because I do think we should try to eliminate these type of plays, especially when it was very clear that he did not have to make that play. He did not have to, go at it at that angle and directly make contact with the head. So if 5 games is what you need to prevent someone else from getting hurt, fine by me. Do you know if Besser is like back with the team?
I was trying to figure out, but I couldn't see. I mean, I googled best or injury, and it was just all kind of suspension stuff.
They just played last night.
Yeah, so it's probably not.
I don't know if he's gonna be
I
back anytime
mean, I
soon.
assume it's probably concussion stuff, so it could be a week or two.
Yeah, I think they're slated to play again tomorrow. I don't know if he's projected to be in the lineup, but hopefully he's back soon and isn't dealing with anything major there, because you never want to see head contact like that.
Yeah. You gonna catch the end of this Golden Knights game? Brandon Tanev popping off with 2 goals.
Yeah, he tied it
In
up.
Vegas, 2 goals on 15 shots.
It's like, I haven't decided if I'm gonna go to sleep. I don't feel too tired yet, so maybe I'll just stay up and watch it. But I think that's.
I know Dorofeyev has 8 goals.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. And I would like him to get 20 goals because I have a 10 goal and a 20 goal square on my Sin Bingo card this year, through Sin
How does
Bin
that
Vegas.
work? You just do that at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, you put your email in and they send you a card.
And you pay for that, and then you can win stuff?
I didn't pay for it. I think no, I don't think last year it was paid either. And this year they have a free space, which they didn't last year, so that's nice.
He has as many goals as Kaprizov.
Wow.
Just got his 8th tonight as well.
Jeez, Eddie. Freaking scratching like crazy. We're almost done here anyways, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, Dorofeyev, I would hope that he continues to score. There's a couple other guys that I have that I'd like to get some goals, but okay. He said we're done.
Okay, Eddie.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, Hill, step it up, get some goals. Need it for bingo.
That would be great. I definitely don't have a Hill scores a goal card on my bingo card, luckily. That one would be tough to get. I think I had last year, I think I had Thompson gets a point on as one of my squares, which I believe he did end up getting.
Yeah, it seems likely enough.
Goalie assist is all it was, so yeah, I did get that one.
A goal wouldn't have counted.
No. That would be infuriating, I guess. Like, really, it has to be an assist.
Goal,
it can't be a goal. Yeah. I ended up getting all but 2 of the squares marked off by the end of the year last year. VGK did not win by 2+ against Calgary, and Martinez needed to get 200 block shots. He only got 152, but he missed some time.
And do you win anything if you get all the squares?
I think it's like the first person to either get all the squares or get like the goalie net, which is like the bottom half, like the first 3 on the bottom are a post, and then the middle row or the second row from the top, something like that. I don't remember. I think the prize, it's either a playoff ticket or like a regular season game if you're choosing next season, something like that. I can't remember. So that would be cool to win. I just would like to get any sort of prize. Right now I don't have a great chance for getting a bingo, but it's still early. Gifford almost got one already, so we'll see how he does.
Well, good luck to you. And
Thank you. That's what we got going on. We can give you a hat trick and pass the cup update next week, I guess. Nothing really
I
going
don't have
on.
the cup anymore. As soon as I bragged about it, it was gone.
Yeah,
so
it's like I don't care anymore. Yeah. We did have our first no questions day today because Owen forgot to send it in. He didn't have service.
Well, he already Venmoed me the $1, so the pot is now $101.
Nice. Gifford is excited about that.
Yeah.
We'll see if if he
Probably the
wins again
closest
this year.
we've ever had as far as like a hat trick race. We're at 8, 5, 5, 5, and 2.
Yeah, it is pretty close. Gifford and I
If
both
it
got hat tricks
continues.
last night.
Yeah, he's got 2 in a row now. Me and Gifford got one the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pellegrini scored with 4 minutes left. Otherwise, I would have had the hat trick.
I was
Oh well.
a little surprised that we were the only two that picked that trio to score more, but it obviously ended up being pretty close.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed pretty close. I looked at like the goals for each. I looked at goals for and goals against. I was like, I mean, go with this one.
That's the way it goes.
1 goal difference.
Yep. But you're making the difference watching this podcast, loyal viewer. We did hit our 50 subscribers, which was fun. So we're trying to get 100 by the end of the season. So share with your unsubscribed friends if you haven't done so already. Dean will be doing that face reveal now.
Oh yeah, you'll get to see what I look like.
Stay tuned for that. That's all we got. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.
Have a good week.
And
Oh, we're on the 2-man advantage. Okie dokie. Score! I just tuned in.